I am Maria Garcia de Florin. Today, our history is that of a very interesting person who died at just 33 years old. She's the second woman with the title of Doctor of the Church and practically did not know how to read and write like most of the people of the time. What she did was dictate many letters and dictate the book Dialogue on Divine Providence, and she managed to change the history of her time. We know her as Saint Catharine of Siena because she was born in Siena, Italy on March 25th, 1347. At the age of 6, Catharine had her first vision in the Basilica of Saint Dominic of Christ, surrounded by Saint Peter, Saint Paul, and Saint John. Her parents thought she was going crazy and wanted to give her away in marriage. So when she was 12 years old, they organized the wedding. But since Catalina, at the age of 7, had sworn to God to maintain chastity all her life, she refused to be married. For this reason, she cut her hair and began to wear a veil without leaving the house. She fastened, silenced, vowed, resigned. For a long time, she lived only on the Eucharist and fasted. With some friends, she generously assisted the poor, the sick, and comforted the afflicted and prisoners. She healed many people with her care and attention. At 18 years old, Catherine joined the Dominican Third Order. After 3 years of solitary life at home, Catherine felt that the Lord was calling her at that time to lead a more active life. Therefore, she began to interact with more and more people. Despite her illiteracy, she dictated to people who knew how to read and write works of great value, not only literary works considered one of the highest examples of the 14th century prose, but also historical and religious. She was one of the great Catholic mystics. She said that from life in God, it is not possible for any to desire for revenge, violence, or lack of love to arise. Confusing the roles of men and women could be disastrous. We would be deprived of the richness that the feminine and the masculine bring to our existence, equally worthy and noble values, but different from each other, complementary. At that time, the popes had left Rome for 70 years and lived in Avignon, France. Catherine set out to convince Pope Gregory XI to return to Rome and succeeded in the year 1377. Although she lived only 33 years, Catherine's message today is undoubtedly topical, not only because society and the church are going through a crisis of collapse and the emergence of something new and different, but because men and women, then as well as now, have in their hands and in their own life the key to face adversity, to live their history. Catherine shouted with her life that the transformation of structures has its origins in the depths of the human heart. If the initiatives are not born from your heart and we are purified from selfishness, harmony, and coexistence, then truth are not possible because Christ is the truth and the life, and Christ is God, and with God we always win.